Good afternoon, everybody. It is Wednesday, November 23rd. Hope you're well today. I'm going to get started with the before market close live stream and market update, and we'll jump into some ticker requests as well. If anybody does have any ticker requests, please let me know. Didn't get a video out yesterday, so there wasn't a whole lot to go over yesterday, but there is some new developments today. The Fed did mention that they could start to slow interest rates soon, whatever soon means, but I do think that we could potentially see it happen next month in December's FOMC rate decision. More than likely probably come in around 50 or 25 basis points, slightly lower than what we're seeing as per the usual 75 basis points. But we need to be prepared for all scenarios. Excuse me, at the moment, there is some conflicting information as well with the dot-com fractal. So are we going to deviate from this dot-com fractal on SPY, or are we going to continue to follow that? That is going to be the real question, the million-dollar question, because it is saying that we could potentially be forming a top any day now. Into some point into next month. So at this point, it's looking like, based on the dot-com fractal, the temporary top is near, and that we could be heading to 300 or sub 300 into March or April into 2023. And then we would see a pretty big relief rally as a monthly lower high, but not surprising if we do deviate from this fractal because of how manipulated the markets are. When we go back to this fractal, which is those blue bars that I overlaid, the market wasn't nearly as manipulated. We didn't have the Fed printing trillions of dollars and injecting it into the market. And also Congress still yet to sell their stocks, right? So we still have yet to see a bill that prevents Congress from owning stocks. And that could be another reason for them to manipulate the market and see one more final push in the broader market. And it could even be an inverse head and shoulders here on the monthly time frame as well, with the left shoulder head, right shoulder potentially to form. So if we do see that happen and we top out here on this monthly bounce over the next month or so, then we can continue to watch for this fractal to follow through, which it has been, so we will until it deviates. But at the moment, we are expecting this to potentially break down into the next couple of months, but can't lose sight of the fact that it could be an inverse head and shoulders and a reversal pattern as well. And like I said, because Congress still has yet to sell, that could be the manipulation and motivation to keep the market going higher, right? And we could potentially deviate from the fractal, and then, in my opinion, we would just catch up to it a little bit later on, a little bit, it's going to be hard to say, but I do think that ultimately we're going to follow this fractal. It's just whether or not it's going to happen down to the exact monthly candle or weekly candle, that remains to be seen. But again, because of Congress and how manipulated the market is, because Congress still owns stocks, that gives them all the motivation to see one more rally into the end of the year. Then, Congress looks like heroes. They're selling the top because they have to, not because they want to, and they're forced to sell. And then the market goes into a Great Depression style pullback, and maybe one of the worst in history into 2023. But yeah, so it's going to be an interesting couple of months. This morning, I had an alarm go off at the Airbnb. Airbnb's going good, but smoke alarm went off today, and it was pretty low-key freaking out this morning because I got a call just after 9 o'clock from the condo doorman, and said that there was an alarm going off in my unit. And I didn't have anybody stay there last night. That was the first time this month that it was vacant. And then I assumed it was the fire alarm, but luckily it was a false alarm. So I just disconnected the battery, disconnected the hardwire, and everything was good after that. But hopefully it doesn't happen again. But yeah, never good when you get a call saying an alarm's been going off since 3 a.m. In your unit, but luckily it was a false positive. Take a look at the crypto space. So we are seeing a little bit of a recovery here. We're still hovering above that 16,500 on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is getting hit a lot harder than a lot of our altcoins. Litecoin has seen a massive monster move over the last couple of days, and we went all the way up to $80. So my Litecoin bag actually exceeded my my XLM bag there for a little bit. My Litecoin was worth way more than XLM, which was surprising to see, because that has been XLM's been my second biggest holding for a while now, and after that recent move and deviation and kind of inverse move that we're seeing in Litecoin, very surprising to see that Litecoin, my Litecoin bag and portfolio was higher in terms of dollar value than my XLM bag. So yeah, we're looking for a potential alt season, but there's no sign of it yet. BTCD is going to be our benchmark, so this is going to be the key and the clue going forward. At the moment, it's still a monthly bear flag. So you can see here, it's a little confusing with all that's going on, but you can see here that we will not confirm the monthly bear flag until we lose 38.84%. If we lose that, then it's targeting 34%, and then that will confirm, and we'll get even more follow through of this monthly descending triangle, which is targeting about 30%. But it says that alt season may not happen until, like, this could, in theory, go sideways right into March, April. So that lines up well with the S&P 500.com fractal as well. It's saying that we could potentially set a bottom somewhere around March, April, and then see a massive end of year rally. Whereas if this happens in March, April, right? If we just go sideways and then into maybe March, April, that's also when the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit is due to conclude. So if there is no settlement, March, April is probably the latest. I think they said May actually. So between March and May is the latest that it could end. And then we could see full-blown alt season at that point, right? So we need to be prepared to wait another, 4 or 5, maybe even 6 months before we see true alt season. And there's even rumors that there could be a Bitcoin spot ETF approved. And that could very well be the case because I forget who it was. I think it was Michael Harrington, and he said that he's hearing rumors that it could be approved, and this whole FTX debacle, all this, collapse of Voyager, Celsius, Luna, this could very much entice them to approve a spot Bitcoin ETF because it's going to create even more regulation in the market. So I think that we could get heavy regulation. We could get some stablecoin regulation as well with regards to the new, with Republicans taking control of the House. We know that the House is usually ones who create the laws, and then the Senate's usually the ones who pass it. So the fact that we could see that bipartisan support in wake of all of this contagion and turmoil and just insolvencies across the space, right? So spot Bitcoin ETF could be something that a lot of people would be they wouldn't be expecting it, right? And that would obviously send the market a lot higher, and a huge move would likely ensue. So moving on, but we'll be watching Bitcoin dominance as a major clue, and not going to expect any full-blown alt season until that breaks down and we confirm the monthly bear flag. But at the moment, Bitcoin is bouncing on the daily time frame. We did confirm the daily bear flag with a loss of 15,512. We got as low as 15,460. So we did confirm the daily bear flag, but we didn't see much follow through. And at the moment, we are rejecting at EMA 12. So I wouldn't be surprised if over the next couple of days we confirm this and then target that $13,000 area, which is the daily bear flag target. And I've been saying for a couple of days now that SPY is the opposite. SPY was actually a daily bull flag, and sure enough, today we confirmed it. So just like Bitcoin confirmed its daily bear flag, S&P 500 confirmed its daily bull flag. So it's an inverse correlation at the moment. We needed to get over 402.31, I said was the key resistance. We hit 402.93. So just like Bitcoin confirming the daily bear flag with no follow through, we need the S&P 500 to see follow through confirming this daily bull flag. So they both confirmed. We just need follow through. And right now, SPY is targeting 417 on this daily bull flag. But again, just need to see that follow through. And is a bit of a cup and handle here as well on the daily time frame. So if we do confirm the daily cup and handle, that takes us right up to around that same area, around 415, 417. A daily bounce underway today, the second day in a row on the S&P 500. Obviously, the market liking the fact that we could start to see a Fed pivot some point soon, as they said. But the dollar, starting daily consolidation today, still in a daily downtrend with lower highs and lower lows. We failed to confirm a daily uptrend, but we do have the ability to change the daily trend now. So we're looking for a higher low compared to the low of the pullback at 105.34. If we hold that low and break resistance at 107.99, we're going to confirm a daily uptrend. And then at that point, we zoom out to the weekly time frame and we watch for the weekly bounce to continue. But right now, in a weekly downtrend as well, could be heading to weekly oversold here on the dollar. And could see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross on those EMAs as well. But monthly consolidation underway, like I anticipated, would likely happen either this month or next month. And we got it. And that translated in a pretty big move in the broader market in the S&P 500 as well. Silver continues to stand out very, very strong. Could see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross as well. At the moment, it's a weekly bull flag. And if we just do a quick measured move here on silver, we're targeting, for the measured move on this bull flag, we're targeting about $25. So silver continues to show strength. Gold weekly bull flag as well, with the potential for an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. Nice base of support there. Basically a triple bottom, 16-14, 16-17, 16-16. So a nice triple bottom there off that base of support. Would have been a nice entry there with a stop below 1600. And would have risked a couple percent to make 10%. So those are some good risk to reward opportunities. But at the moment, everything's looking good. But don't be surprised if we do reject here on the S&P 500 and continue to follow this .com fractal. But again, wouldn't be surprised if we deviate from it at least slightly, because of the fact that markets are 120% manipulated this time around. Back here, they were manipulated, just not to the degree that we are today, right? We didn't have Fed printing, we didn't have rising inflation, we didn't have, just all these different macroeconomic factors that are at play. Congress potentially getting banned from owning stocks, right? That wasn't happening back here in the .com fractal. So the fact that they have yet to sell gives us all the reason in the world, and the Wall Street bankers and the crooks on Wall Street to manipulate this market even more, so that we can get their Wall Street buddies to prop the market up so that Congress can sell. Guess who gets tons of campaign donations from Wall Street? That would be the Republicans and the Democrats and elected officials and things like that, right? So we know that it's a pay to play, and it's a scratch my back, I'll scratch yours kind of thing. So unfortunately, it is the market that we play in. If you don't like it, unfortunately, you'll probably just have to find another game, because I don't think there's ever going to be a day where the markets are not manipulated. I saw another tweet today that I think, who was it? JP Morgan or Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs. Actually, it might have been Goldman Sachs. I think they got fined for lack of ESG concerns and malpractice. So again, this isn't the first time that we've seen manipulation go on, and frankly, these big banks on Wall Street should be, some of those people should be put behind bars for the rest of their life, as far as I'm concerned. But taking a look at Tesla. Tesla daily bounce underway today, still in the daily downtrend, very, very weak comparative to the rest of the market. Weekly bounce not even close to being underway yet. Weekly downtrend. And on the monthly time frame, we could still see that EMA 12 and 26 bear cross. We're likely probably not going to see a bottom until that happens, in my opinion. A temporary bottom is what I mean by that, because I do think that we could see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross, similar to what Bitcoin did, and then we would come back up, form a nice monthly bounce, similar to what happened here. EMA 12 and 26 bear cross. Now we're breaking to a monthly lower low. Now we could potentially see a monthly bounce soon. Same with Tesla. If we see that bear cross, we could see another lower low on the next monthly candle. We've got 7 days left, so that's entirely possible. And we have no support all the way down to $23. So if we do see that bear cross, expect another monthly lower low, and then a pretty big bounce to follow after that, in my opinion, for another monthly lower high. Still in a monthly downtrend, but Tesla, definitely one of our lead bears. And I'm not going to be confident that a temporary bottom is in until we see that EMA 12 and 26 bear cross on Tesla, because of how weak it's been. BERY, CWeb, and Riot leading the bull list today, followed by Tesla. On the bear list, we have DPro, SIRC, and RUM. I haven't actually checked in on SIRC in a while. But yeah, after that big move, I warned people to, pretty much get out and don't look back. Went all the way up to $3 and then crashed all the way down to 15 cents. Actually, no, it says here it crashed down to 1 cent. Wow. Gave the whole move back. Dropped 99% from February 2021. Wow. Yeah. So this is one of those names. Actually, that's the month time frame. Wasn't it the daily time frame that we were looking at? Yeah, it was back here. I think this was the move here. I'm not sure if that's a scam wick or what's going on there, but yeah, this was the move here when it ran up to 51 cents or 61 cents. Yeah, 61.5 cents, and then we gave the whole move back. So I warned people. We had no daily support. Then we entered a daily downtrend, saw the EMA 12 and 26 bear cross, gave the whole move back. In terms of Canadian MJ, CGC, monthly doji, indecision candle so far. If we reset the chart here, on the daily time frame, you could say that we're still just searching for a daily high or low, and still in a daily uptrend. Actually, we did confirm a daily downtrend here with the lower high and lower low. So we need to get back into a daily uptrend with a higher low and higher high, which would be a long time coming in my opinion. We could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross as well. So it's looking like we could potentially see more weakness on CGC and in Canadian MJ as a whole, more than likely, with the S&P 500 potentially showing signs of topping out, at least here temporarily. But it's all about 390.14 on the S&P 500. If we lose that, that's going to create even more headwinds for MJ space as well, right? Labs, PSDN, TGLAD leading the bull list today. On the bear list, we have WIB, IMCC, and PCLO, followed by High Tide. So High Tide, massive move all the way up to 223 off a low of 130. So that was a huge move, about 70% of gains. Congrats to the bulls. But we have no daily support. At the moment, it is a daily bull flag, though. So if we go from the low to the high, actually, no, we did pull back a little bit more than we would have liked to see. So at this point, we're favoring a type of equilibrium and not favoring continuation to the upside. So we more than likely see something like this, where we tighten up, form a type of equilibrium and tightening range after having lost 188, which is 0.382. So if you don't hold the 0.382 fib off this daily bounce, right, we go from the low to the high of the bounce. There was no higher low, so you go from the low to the high. On the next higher low, as long as 0.382 fibs, that's a potential daily bull flag, and it didn't hold, so therefore negates the potential. Doesn't mean that we can't see continuation to the upside. It's just not the most likely scenario based on classical technical analysis theory. But congrats to the bulls there. Massive move. Nice to see that the monthly bounce is underway on High Tide. Now we just need to confirm monthly trend changes just like CGC did. And the more names that start to do this, start their monthly bounce and change their monthly trends, the more confident we are each individual name will do so as well that hasn't yet already done so. In terms of USMJ, we have BMMJ, LOWL, and IAN leading the bull list. On the bear list. On the bull list, we have CXXI, CWEB, and SHWZ. In terms of MSOS, the ETF, daily bounce underway today. First time we consolidated on the daily time frame. It was 9 trading days, and now we're looking to form that daily higher low right off EMA 26. So we are holding, but we could see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross here. So we are at risk of a potential daily downtrend with a lower high and lower low. So if we do lose 11.15, we're in a daily downtrend with a lower high and lower low. And at that point, we can more than likely assume that we're going to see a bear cross on those EMAs and more downside. And then we'll look at support at 10.44. Checking in on the group here before we jump into some ticker requests, see if there's any new news developments. Litecoin getting a lot of attention in the mainstream media today. All right, let's take a look at GRN and AT. So we'll start with GRN. So GRN daily consolidation. Actually, you know, we held that low of 46 cents. So right now it's a double bottom at 46 cents. I think I was expecting. Let me just see. I know I charted this one not too long ago. Trying to refresh my memory on what we could see. Yeah, so I was expecting another lower low. And I said we had support there at 48 cents and then 36. And I said I wouldn't be surprised if this thing started to trend back down to around 40 cents. And we hit a low of 46 cents. So next support on the chart is at 36 cents. So don't be surprised, like I said, if this thing goes to around 40 cents. In terms of the monthly time frame, yeah, that's what it was. It was a monthly bear flag, wasn't it? So if we go from the high to the low, and then you take the measured move, it's saying 37.5 cents. Yep, so this thing could easily go back down to 36 cents in my opinion with that monthly bear flag target. So not a bad idea to start scaling in. Like I said, we have support there at 36 cents, and the monthly bear flag target is 36 cents. So you can start to scale in. That would likely put us right around monthly oversold as well, and could line up nicely with the an end of year market rally as well. So I was calling for more downside based on that monthly bear flag confirming. We rejected at EMA 26 as well, and seeing another daily lower low, weekly lower low, and monthly lower low. And with only 7 days left in the month, we could potentially see another monthly lower low set to potentially close at the low of this month. So it's looking pretty bearish still at the moment. It was also a daily bear flag as well. So if you go from high to low, just do a quick measured move, probably takes us to around the same level, but again, just adding more confluence to the fact that the bottom was likely not in. So yep, targeting 36. So monthly bear flag rather, and daily bear flag targeting 36 cents. So I would say 36 to 40 cents is pretty much baked in at this point. But if you're looking for some long-term entries, might not be a bad idea to start scaling in. In terms of the weekly time frame, we're still well below the 10-week moving average there at 58 cents. We are starting to see a bull cross of the stochastic, but the MACD is still a ways away before we see that bull cross. So still a lot of work to do in terms of the weekly macros. In terms of the moving averages on the weekly, we saw that was something else that I had mentioned as well. We saw a bear cross of the 50 and the 100 weekly moving averages. When the shorter term time frames are above the longer term time frames and they come down and cross, that's a bear cross. And then here we are, we still yet to see the 50 cross down through the 200. So adding even more confluence to the fact that we could see monthly oversold and it's 36 cents and that monthly and daily bear flag target met. In terms of the daily time frame, moving averages still nowhere near seeing a golden cross. So when it happens with the short-term time frame, moving averages below the longer term, when that comes up on the daily time frame, the 50 and the 200 cross, that's called a golden cross, right? We had the death cross here, and that occurred when the price was around $1.50, and then the price went all the way down to about 46 cents. So the death cross, now we could see a golden cross, but we're quite a ways away from seeing those. We're 21 cents in differential, so it could be another couple weeks, maybe even a couple months before we see that golden cross. Again, adding more confluence to the fact that we could see another lower low and monthly and daily bear flag target of 36 cents. Hopefully that helps. Let's take a look at AT on the TSX. Not familiar with this name, but just looking at it here on the daily time frame, much stronger than the GRN chart. So AC.to. Pretty sure this is the right one. Acuity Ads Holdings Inc. I know we haven't I don't think we charted this one before, so this will be all new for all of us. We already did have the monthly EMA 12 and 26 bear cross. That's nice to see, but we are still in a monthly downtrend with lower highs and lower lows. At this point, we're close to starting the monthly bounce. If we break 253, we start the monthly bounce, and we have no monthly resistance until 388, and then EMA 12 lining up there as well at 381. So if we do start the monthly bounce, don't be surprised if we see a bounce of about 55% back to those EMAs. Excuse me. So one way you could play it is set a stop buy. So if we get above 253 resistance, we start the monthly bounce, and then you could look to target that 380 area. And you could set your stop below 186. So essentially you'd be risking about a little over 20% to make 50%. Not the greatest, 2-to-1 risk reward odds, but yeah, that's still pretty risky though. So not the best setup. Let's see if we can get a different level on the daily time frame to set our. So what you could do is you could set your stop under this daily high or low here at 210. We are seeing an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross occur here on the bull cross occur here on the daily time frame. So no support down to 210. So maybe you want to wait for a daily high or low somewhere around, maybe 220, 215. And then enter with a stop below that. We are in a daily uptrend with the low, high, higher, low, and higher high, higher, low, and higher high. So nice trend line of support there. Could even draw that out. Holding. And as long as 210 holds, we're in a daily uptrend. You'd be risking about 23% to set it under the low there, that monthly pullback and 52-week low. So a little bit of a risk. More risk than we would like to see, but weekly bounce is underway. We still have yet to change the weekly trend as well, so maybe you want to wait for a weekly trend change. That's probably what I would do actually. I'd wait for a weekly trend change. I'd wait for us to top out on the weekly here, form a higher low, somewhere around $2, 190s, $2. Form that weekly higher low. It all depends where we top out on this bounce as well, right, on the weekly time frame. So we have no resistance until EMA 26, which is sitting there at 281. And we can't be confident that we're going to see a massive move on the monthly time frame until we confirm a weekly uptrend. So that's likely what I would do, is I would wait for a weekly higher low and then add on that higher low, and then you could set your stop below the low there, and then you'd be risking about 15% instead of 23%. But again, if you're looking for the long-term entry, you're getting close to monthly oversold, but still in a monthly downtrend. Weekly still have yet to confirm a weekly uptrend, so we're definitely bearish in terms of the long-term outlook still at the moment. But monthly bounce could be underway soon. It's just, again, I would feel more comfortable entering on a weekly higher low and then a clear stop loss. All depends how much money you want to throw at it as well, right? How much you're willing to risk. And if you let me know as well, if you already have a position, again, if you just want my complete unbiased opinion, you can give me the ticker and I can do some analysis, give you my 2 cents. But if you let me know whether or not you're adding or looking to add, we're going to add again. This is a dollar cost averaging name that I've been slowly scaling into. All that can kind of help. If you're looking for the long term, what's long term? In terms of the weekly time frame, though, we are getting above the 10-week moving average, and we're seeing bull crosses on the stochastic and the MACD. So it's looking really, really good in terms of the weekly time frame. I'd like to see a weekly candle close over 227 to remain bullish. But again, still no weekly trend change yet. So I wouldn't be surprised if we came back tested at least the 10-week moving average there at around 225, 227, and then form that weekly higher low over the next couple of weeks, and then give us that weekly trend change. That's what we would like to see, right? The more uptrends we have, the better we are and more confident we are in entering bullish. But we did have a bear cross, so this is an example, right? Just like we saw in GRN, we're seeing this same thing occur with the weekly moving averages seeing bear crosses. And we had the 50 cross down through the 200, similar to what GRN just did, and price was at $3. And then after that bear cross occurred, we dropped all the way down below $2. So the fact that that's already out of the way is giving confluence to the fact that the bottom could soon be in. But again, we need to confirm weekly uptrends and then start that monthly bounce before we can expect a pretty decent move of maybe 25 to 50%. In terms of the daily time frame, we were getting close there to a golden cross. So we're getting close. We're above the 50-day moving average now. And we were rejecting, got above it here, but we got slammed back down. We kissed the death off the 200 and then right back down to a lower low. And again, the weekly bear cross was the clue there, and the inability to confirm the weekly uptrend. But here we are getting above the 50-day moving average, and over the next couple of weeks, we could see a golden cross with the 50 crossing below up through the 200. So again, just adds even more confidence that we could see a weekly higher low, because we're so far away from seeing that golden cross. We're likely due, like I said, for that weekly higher low and trend change attempt before we start the monthly bounce. So hopefully that helps. Not seeing any other ticker requests at the moment, and in terms of news, it's all quiet on the Western Front. Taking a look at crypto. So crypto is gaining a little bit of momentum here on the 15-minute time frame, but we are approaching a resistance. So don't be surprised if we do see a little bit of a pullback here over the next 15 to 45 minutes. Bell just rang. So SPY closed right at resistance. We had 402.31 and we closed at 402.40. So we did close over resistance, and we confirmed the daily bull flag today, targeting 417. Just need that follow through. So if we break above resistance today at 402.93, the high of the day today, tomorrow, expect some pretty big moves to the upside. So we do have a lack of resistance all the way up to 410, both on the daily and weekly time frame. So that's when I'll add more SPXS. As again, I know Sam was asking today if SPXS was a good idea to add today. Personally, I'm just taking the dollar cost averaging approach, right? Just adding in, scaling in. So I started adding when SPY was around 380. Added again at 390, added again at 400, I'll add again at 410, right? So looking to scale in at about 5 or 6 orders. And currently got 3 orders in, so I'll add a 4th at 410, a 5th at 420, every 10 points from there. Are dropping a little bit here after hours. All right, going to end it there. Hope everyone has a great night. Hopefully that helps. If there's any clarification, if anybody needs me to clarify anything, elaborate on anything, just let me know. But going to end it there. Hope you have a great night. We'll see everybody in the chat room in a little bit.